Another story, guys, now. This one's in the Daily Mirror. Headline reads, prison officers claim every British jail may face crisis like Birmingham. Exclusive. The dire warning has sounded just days after the government took over the privately run West Midlands jail because drug-crazed convicts were virtually in control. Every prison in Britain is faced with a shambolic meltdown like crisis hit Birmingham. The dire warning was sounded by prison officers days after the government took over the privately run West Midlands jail because drug-crazed convicts were virtually in control. As illegal drugs and mobile phones pour into UK jails at an unprecedented rate, the Sunday People can reveal that a shocking 13,000 drug seizures have been made in 1 year, up from 10,000 the previous year. A quarter of all drug finds came from prisons run by firms like Birmingham's bosses G4S, even though they account for only 10% of prisons. Governors face a loss of control despite record seizure rates. Worn down staff are quitting HMP Birmingham at the rate of 1 every 48 hours, and campaigners fear a similar desertion around Britain. Last night, Glenn Travis, the Assistant General Secretary of the Prison Officers Association, said, as a result of austerity measures, we're now seeing every prison in some sort of crisis. Birmingham has just highlighted the problem that has been developing for the past 8 years. Andrew Nielsen, Director of Campaigns at the Howard League for Penal Reform, said, the fact staff were leaving Birmingham so frequently illustrates just how serious the problems are. It raises questions for a government still largely wedded to building new prisons for companies like G4S. Regardless of who runs prisons like Birmingham, there are systematic issues that must be addressed. The Sunday People has been at the forefront of chronicling the growing crisis in the prisons. New figures we have show 169 officers at Birmingham have quit. Of those, 79 had under 6 months service, 8 had done between 6 months and a year, half a dozen have done 12 to 18 months, and 69 were senior officers there for 18 months or more. We can also reveal drugs and mobile phone seizures reached record highs before the government stepped in. Nationally, across all prisons, a total of 15,036 phones were seized in the 12 months to March, while 9,345 SIM cards were found. Videos are appearing on social media sites showing violence inside and inmates passed out after taking drugs. One clip shows a man choking another man out until he is unconscious as inmates watch and laugh. Other clips show inmates passed out in their cells. A former Birmingham inmate told the Sunday People, it's like the prisoners have got the upper hand. A few of the officers got a real kick in, and it's like they cannot be bothered or could not find the strength to enforce any kind of order. Being away for 6 months and then going back in, I see the deterioration. There is shit everywhere on the landings, flies, cockroaches, and the smell is rank when it gets hot. A lot of prisoners do not leave their cells because it's not safe. People are eating their dinners in their cell, which stink anyway. It's just disgusting. Another former prison inmate called Darren Sanders, 46, who served time in HMP Woodhill, said there was a lot of violence. There were 4 lads in one cell and one of them was getting battered. He was on spice. The staff just turned a blind eye. The Minister for Courts and Justice, Rory Stewart, has pledged to resign if the campaign to tackle violence and drugs in struggling jails fails. G4S spokesman Jerry Petherick said the figures demonstrate strong intelligence systems that are in place to intercept contraband. Our staff perform regular searches to seize illicit items. They also bring them in as well. Most recent figures show there are 19,925 full-time officers to look after 83,000 plus prisoners. The starting salary for a prison officer is £20,000, sentenced to rot away. Britain's crumbling prisons have almost 80,000 outstanding repairs. Broken plumbing, heating and electrics are putting inmates' lives at risk every day, and the latest figures show that at least a third of the decrepit jails are contracted out to private maintenance firm Amy. Almost all the rest were being taken care of by collapsed contracting firm Carillion and are now directly handed by the government. Labour's Shadow Justice Secretary Richard Burgin said, once again we see the disastrous effects of the Conservatives' obsession with privatisation. The contract to outsource maintenance work worth hundreds of millions of pounds failed to deliver savings promised. Amy said, we have worked to improve the prison estate since we took the contract. We are committed to providing a service that ensures the welfare of prisoners and value for taxpayers. Police helicopters up. It's not for me, don't worry. The Ministry of Justice added, we are working with all providers to help performance, including ensuring tasks are signed off completely. Can you hear that copper chopper? Right, guys, I'm not even going to comment on it, guys. It speaks for itself. Put a link in the description, guys, like I always do. But you don't need to, because I've just read the story. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.